going to correct this passage, and then I'm going to give you guys a minute or two to look through and see, look at the ones that you got wrong, because sometimes you got it wrong because you just like accidentally circled the wrong answer, or maybe you were trying to choose between two and you chose the wrong one, or sometimes you just read it and you're like, oh my gosh, I totally misunderstood that question, or I like misread the answer, like I interpreted it some other way. And so sometimes it helps to try to look at them first and see if you can figure out why you got it wrong. That definitely shows that you're understanding the passage and understanding how to answer these questions if you're able to figure that out for yourself. So again, question number 1 is on that first page, so don't forget to answer that. Sometimes they throw that in there, even when it's on even when it's just opened up and you have all your information on those 2 pages, sometimes they'll still put like a question or two at the bottom of that first page, and a lot of times it's easy to skip over it and just think that all the questions are on the next page. So just be aware that sometimes there'll be a question on that first page with all of the rest of the passage. So question number 1 is C, 2 is G, 3 is D, 4 is G, 5 is C, 6 is H, 7 is B, 8 is J, 9 is A, and 10 is J. Alright, so I'll give you a minute to look over those, and then if there's any specific ones that you would like me to explain, I can. Otherwise, I'll just choose a couple and explain how you get those answers.
What was 4?
Number 4 was G. Yes.
I didn't get 2 and 3.
You want me just to repeat the answer?
No, I got explain it.
Okay, yeah. Number 2, it can be reasonably inferred from the context of the passage that CC is. So, let's see. So we know that Clover and Elsie are sisters because it tells us that, and then, let's see, where does it first mention CC?
50.
Okay.
Well,
Right,
that's when they
like
describe
right
her.
before that.
Yeah, right before that.
We don't really know too much about her, but it's never mentioned that she is like part of the family. And then it also says that she named her baby Catherine Clover after her 2 friends. So because she's naming it after Clover, who is one of her friends, then that's how we know that she's a friend and not like actually part of the family, or just someone else who is just like not really super close with them.
Oh.
And then you said number 3?
3, yeah.
Okay. The fact that Clover is preparing to attend a milestone event can best be exemplified by which of the following quotations from the passage. So when you have questions that say, like, which of these best explains it, that means that your answer choices, probably all of them are going to be, like, probably all of them are going to answer the question, or like they'll be good answer choices, but you just have to choose the one that is going to be the best one. And so for this one, you can go back and look in the passage to see the context that's used for all of these, but the reason why you want to choose D is because this is the one that's going to use, like, the language that's used is the one that makes it seem like it is a big event. So like it's more dramatic wording of it, so it's like she was ready to burst upon the world. So that just makes it seem like it's this really huge event in her life, rather than just like another thing that's going on. Any other specific ones?
9.
Number 9. The passage indicates that Elsie's feelings towards Clover can best be described as. So there's a couple different parts where it talks about this. Line, I believe it's 28. It's like the very start of that paragraph. It says, Elsie, who adored Clover. So right in there it's talking about like how she's, like, it's adoration, which a synonym for that would be admiring. And then again, in that last paragraph, it said, cried the adoring Elsie. So again, it's talking about adoration, or like how she adores her. And so, that kind of just like the synonym for that, with the answer choices would be the admiration. Any others? Okay,
Oh, yes.
yes.
5.
Number 5. According to the passage, before Cece became a lawyer's wife, she intended to devote her life to. Sorry guys, struggling with words today.
I struggle with words every day.
Okay, so started being at line 50, that whole entire paragraph is talking about who Cece is and kind of like her life story. And kind of like the background, it says, who at 13 had announced her intention to devote her whole life to teaching Sunday school, visiting the poor, and setting a good example to her more worldly contemporaries, had forgotten these fine resolutions, and before she was 20, had become the wife of Sylvester Slack. So it's talking about how, like, at 13, she was talking about how she's going to do all these great things in her life, and then she kind of forgot them when she got married. So before she got married, her plan was to just like teach Sunday school, visit the poor, setting a good example, and so those are all things that are good deeds, and so that's why that answer is correct. Any others? Yes.
8.
Number 8. Details in the passage suggest that Clover. So this one is talking about.
Excuse me.
Let's see. Okay, so it's starting at kind of line 65. It says she was rather wedded to them, and so it's referring back to the flowers that she wanted her to buy. And then it says she was almost vexed when I wouldn't buy the spray. And then it goes on to talk about how she wanted more of a plain dress instead of one with all these flowers. And so by saying that she was vexed is saying that she's like kind of upset or sad that she didn't buy the flowers. And so that's why why you want to choose that answer. That she did not want those flowers. Any others?